Hey, I want to be clear, I'm not sponsored by bloody anyone. Not K&N air filters. We're just about to pull it out. It's just things I'll use and I like, you know. Like I said, if they want to send me some for free to test out, then I'll take that. But I'll just tell you the truth about it. Generally, if I like stuff, I'll tell you. If I don't like it, you won't hear about it and I'll tell them. And, you know, if they listen and communicate and fix things up and all that sort of thing, then we'll might be able to get somewhere with products, you know. People developing new products, that sort of thing. They're not always up to scratch. This thing, it's done thousands of kilometres, including on our last trip. I haven't even opened it yet. Over to WA, down along the south coast, up some dirt roads, Googs track, everywhere else, and across the desert and all that. So who knows what's going to be in here. I thought you might like to have a look at it with me. I don't even think I need to open it. It's just, the reason I say that is because I want everybody to know, right? We've got the Prado Hospital here, the Prado Hospital, and all the air filters we've ever looked at, quite often, as demonstrating videos for those people that watch the videos. I think there's even a playlist on air filters, isn't there? You can have a laugh even washing air filters. Anyway, a lot of dust gets on the clean side of my airbox and everybody else's airbox when they run paper filters. Now, paper filters block up with all that fine dust in it. They block up and then your diesel engine will blow smoke. They get to a point that it's restrictive. So obviously paper filters, yeah, it works, but it doesn't work, and it breathes, but it doesn't breathe, right? Now, with the K&N, it's totally opposite. On the box, it says not for off-road use and all that sort of thing, so it made me nervous years ago. But the way I use them, as demonstrated in the videos, they work really well. Why? Because the engine never blows smoke, it always breathes, it doesn't get restricted, and this top side of the airbox stays clean. Clean as I've ever seen before. And all the other people that I know that use them, that come in the workshop or that come on trips, I ask them and they say the same thing. So I don't know how we can have a whole bunch of results, our survey saying that, survey says it breathes better and it filters better. And then you got all these people that still believe, oh no, don't do that, you'll wreck your engine and all this sort of thing and whatever. So let's have a look. Enough waffling, right? I'm going to need to bring the camera and show you, but I just wanted to show you. I haven't opened it, so I just want to get it out and show you exactly what we're looking at, right? And then, right, so let's just have a look at it. You can see, it's what it is. You can see the dust on there, right? If that was a paper filter, it'd probably be cactus, I don't know, but you can see there's a lot of clean area over here where it's still going to breathe. I think I'm going to throw a bit more oil onto it, right? We might even have a look at the MAF sensor in this video. It's hard for you to see exactly what's going on, but so you can kind of see the light through it a bit at times. It's going to breathe just fine, but you can see all the dust here on this side. Let's have a look at the other side for those people that are curious. It looks bloody good and clean on that side to me. There's no dust at the sides or anywhere like it's pushed through to this side at all. So a little bit more oil before it goes back in. I'll just go and pop that on the bench. 445,000 kilometers on this vehicle. Let's have a look. Okay, so there's the dirty side, the oily side. You can see the oil down there. You can clearly see, you know, you can see the oil in the box from the seal downwards. It's quite oily. I'm not even going to touch it, but I'm not going to clean it. I'm not going to do anything. It's just what it is. Now let's have a look at the side, the dusty side with all the K&N that lets all the dust through. Let's have a good look around. People have seen me do this before. Now all these old marks up here, see that there's those finger marks that I didn't fully clean. That's from when I've had paper filters in here. That's typical of what you would see on this vehicle and many other vehicles, even that don't do much off-road, okay? So let's just use an example right here where all the air certainly goes. I'll just go like that. Not even a bloody finger mark, people, right? There's no dust. In comparison to a paper filter, there's no dust. Let's have a look at that MAF sensor in there. Usually you're going to see that because of the oil in the air filter, it picks up a bit of oil and you get the dust on there. So you know that there's dust going through. You know you're getting a little bit through, same as you get a little bit through with the paper filter. So looking at these, that would be cleaner if you had a paper filter because you wouldn't have the oil to stick the dust to it. So it does need more regular maintenance because you've got an oil filter for an air filter, which means it puts some oil mist on that sensor, which means you need to clean it regularly just to keep all that oil and dust off it. But it's never caused a problem. The vehicle still runs fine. Never had an issue with that. But what we're comparing, the box itself stays clean. This hasn't been open for what is it, 15,000 kilometers? Check the videos, right? Like I said, see all that dust up there? That's all old paper filters. One day I might get around to pull the whole thing off and give it a proper wash, and you'll never see it like that again until I put a paper filter in there. Have a look at yours, see for yourself. Everybody's got to get the same results if you're using it the same. Let's go over to the bench and have a look anyway and see what the filter looks like. Here we are in a little bit more light. I did give it a quick tap on the bench, and this is the sort of debris that fell out, all the bigger stuff. That's great. What do we got in there? You know, a few bits and pieces. I might give it a bit more of a tap. I'm not going to blow it because I don't want to damage it. I'm not going to use compressed air on something like this. When I wash it, I'll wash it in summer. I'll give it a gentle wash. I will use the pressure washer, but at the right distance. But I'm mainly letting the degreaser do the job, and the water's mainly rinsing it off light pressure at a good distance. And compressed air, again, it'll be at a distance, but most of it will be letting it stand up, let the water run off, and let the sun dry it. Remembering not to leave it in the sun for too long because UV is probably going to damage it as well. Everything damages things we manufacture. Things don't last forever, right? So things to keep in mind. So what I'm going to do this time, give it a bit of a tap outside against the wall, you know, whatever. Try and get some of these debris off. I'm going to put a bit more oil on it. I've got the old K&N recharger kit sitting here. It's a really old box, this one. This, nearly full still. I reckon it's probably up to there at least, because I don't clean it much, right? The oil, oh yeah, it's getting low, right? So there's the can of oil. I reckon it's lucky if there's that much in the bottom. So just a quick, I'm probably gonna go, maybe I'll show you. Let's see if I can hold the camera and spray. Let me go and tap. Okay, I did give it a fair bit more of a tap, probably half a dozen, 10 taps, and a lot more bug debris came out. But that's not what's blocking the filter anyway, but it just looks a bit better. Now, you may have noticed also, I don't see any grease on here. Do you see any grease? Anyone? You know, I normally put grease. No, I only do that on the paper ones now. Might have been in the video last time. Did I say I'm not going to bother putting grease? And let's see what happens. Let's see if it leaks. So we didn't use grease. I may have reordered it before the last trip, like what I'm about to do now. I can't remember what I bloody put in videos. Check the playlists. Let me know in the comments if you've seen it before. Let me get this oil ready. Okay, swap hands. I'll go camera with the left hand, oil with the right. Here we go. I'll try and hold it in the right spot and hold it steady while I go. Crazy man, right? Anyway, that's it. That's job done, mate. It's ready for another trip, right? So I'm going to wipe the excess oil off the rubber. I'm going to pop it back in. I'm not going to clean anything else. I'll probably wipe the excess oil off the rubber, maybe the edges of the airbox where the seal's going to go, so there's no bits of dirt and sand and debris that might fall in place. This is clean. This is going to breathe well. This is ready for another trip. Probably need to buy some more oil. I'm going to wipe the bench. I'm also going to do something else. Let me get this done. Right, so here we go. I've just wiped around the edges. Right, it sat there for only about 10 minutes like that. Let the oil go through, whatever you want to do. It's going to drip out the other way, whatever the case. Doesn't really bother me. All I want to do, I've wiped the airbox on where the seal's going to go, top and bottom. That's about it. Quick clean, literally about 1 minute. Make sure it pops in properly, because one of your biggest problems, people not installing. These actually fit in really well, and they're a nice tight fit. And if you have any trouble, you can put a bit of lubrication onto it if you want, but just give it a wobble and pull down like that. You can see it's come down at all the edges, and they'll clip on just nicely, and you can hear it. It's nice and tight the way it just pulls it down. It's actually a really good fit. I don't know the part number I use, but it's probably in one of the other videos. Now, another important thing, besides I'm going to clean that, and I've got videos on that, so I'm not going to show you that in this video. Down here, do I need to bring the camera in? Probably do, okay. Do some maintenance on this, right? Because this is going to tell a story as well. Get the ARB compressor wires out of the way so I can get that out. It's not telling much of a story. I might have already, did I already clean that? I regularly maintain this. These will get full of dirt, it'll get moisture, right? And then in here will set hard. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go give this a wash out anyway, because I just want it 100% clean. You don't actually want any of the oil in there either. It looks clean and free of oil, right? The duck bill, right? This, basically the deal is, this is why it's important to still have this working, because that's another reason why my air filter is cleaner than a lot of other people's, right? So what's in here is what we call a pre-spinner. Nothing's actually spinning, it's except the air that goes through it, right? So if you were to pull your airbox apart and have a look, you'd understand it. Whether you've got a snorkel or not, the air gets pulled through here, and it actually separates all the dust and water to the outside of that compartment. That's not a single layer, it's a double layer. And the outside compartment, everything drops to the bottom when it gets to that end, and it comes out here, whether it's water, dust or whatever. So on your trips, maintenance, give it a bit of a squeeze. See how when you squeeze it, it sort of opens the hole? Everybody likes to give it a bit of squeeze and open the hole. So just give it a bit of a squeeze like that, right? Give it a bit of a squeeze and open the hole and let all the dirt fall out, go like that. But I'm just going to go and wash it now because it's off. So this is my maintenance program. Then we're off on the next trip. This has got to go back on the right way, facing straight down. You'll see which way it goes. If you've got it pointing out like that, someone's put it wrong, it's going to be pretty much, you know. So, you know what? Put it on there and see, right? If it's like that, kind of like that, it's wrong. It's probably going to face that way back towards the vehicle, so it's sort of straight down like that, you know. You'll figure it out. So it's pointing downwards. I'm going to clean that, follow the videos, cleaning the MAF sensor. Bada bing, that's it on the air filter maintenance this year. All right. You know, you don't want to go searching, I'll just do it. Just a quick one, right? Press the plug down. See, I'm holding the plug, not pulling on the wires. I'm pressing on here. My hand might be against it, but I'm pressing on here. I'm wiggling and pushing with that. It's all, you got to be, the more you do this stuff, the more you got to be careful with all your wires. People got to this vehicle before me for 196,000 Ks, so the holes, it's good that they did the maintenance, I guess, because you're meant to do it. It's even in the Toyota book. General information, clean your MAF sensors whenever you change or clean your air filter, or I'll say whenever you've got a K&N, because as we already saw, that's the sensor when it comes out. It's pretty clean overall. Like, you know, you can see it's not generally dust coated. You can see this side of that part of the sensor is pretty clean. It's mainly the side that's getting hit by that smaller, that is actually really clean considering what it's done, like the air filter itself, and you can still see the moly coat there. So what I'll do, I'll generally wipe the moly coat. Try not to get the spray on the O-ring, it might damage it. We've got information on that O-ring and replacing it in videos as well. Keep searching, ask someone, whatever. So I'll wipe that clean, I'll spray that. I'll spray that, you got a spray in there as well. So you got other little, did you not know about, whoop, yeah, stay there camera. You got to spray those, don't let anything touch them though, right? And of course, then I'm going to clean that hole over there on the airbox and put some more moly coat on it before I stick this back in. Always keep it lubricated so you don't damage the ring. So there it is, the moly coat's what we use. I don't really care how much I use here because I'm not going to smother it all over the sensor and get it in the wrong spot. I'm going to put it on the hole. Lube the hole is the best way to do it. So now that the hole's all lubed, wipe your finger clean. Make sure the sensor and the ring is clean. Always make sure that's clean. Carefully replace back in the hole and push it down nicely. One finger to keep holding it down. Then the other one, don't drop your screws because you'll be in pain and suffering. These, it's just a plastic sensor going into a plastic airbox, so as soon as they make contact, you stop turning the screw, right? It's not going to vibrate loose in plastic, okay? You don't need to do them really tight so they don't fall out. You just go like this, look, it's made contact, right? These are bigger screws, coarser threads of whatever I found, and then just click him back in, and that's really it, okay? So subscribe, turn the bell on, hope you learnt something, and hit the like button if you learnt something. Bada bing, bada boom, that's the air filter maintenance. Like I said, for this year, well, we might look at it again after this trip, but we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.